Biafra, superstars, media.
Fulani Oshun, Fulani Ekiti, Fulani Sokoto, Fulani Kasina, Fulani Kaduna, Fulani Plateau, Fulani Benue, Fulani Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria?
Listen.
You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man.
Listen.
I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. And we just have to speak the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Listen.
As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men. Until justice is done, there will never be a solution.
Listen.
If you get a Fulani man that is deal with him as a, and this will come to an end. I respect the people that have hosted me, even though I am an indigene of Plateau State.
Listen.
Because I was born here. My children are grown up. I have 8 grandchildren. But yet we respect the people we met on ground. In Maiduguri, my hometown, the people that come to meet us respect us.
Listen.
When the Boko Haram thing started in Maiduguri, it was us, the indigenes, the people, the Kanuris, who came together and said, this thing is among us. And then we started getting on, and then we raised the civilian JTF. That was how Boko Haram was dealt with. Kanuri man will bring his own children and said, Gashina ina chikin Boko Haram. And that was how we dealt with it. Mayati Allah Association, 80% of the responsibility of the genocide is on you.
Listen.
You have the 80% answer. Because if today Mayati Allah says this genocide will stop, it's not herders and farmers clashes. Intentional genocide.
Okay, good man, good man. My people, the intro makes sense. A cat.
Fulani
Hold on there for me, sir. My people, now how on a day I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media, and I'm holding it down. I say, may God bless Biafra, and may God bless His Excellency Oyendo Mazenam Kano. May God bless, may God bless, may God bless, may God bless His Excellency, the Prime Minister of Biafra, USB, His Excellency ESN Ekpa'S Simon and Joku, for the job Simon is doing. Simon, I want to say we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you, because we know in your hands Biafra has come. In your hands Biafra will be safe. And in your hands, now that Biafra has come, the people of Biafra will rejoice. When I say the people, I mean the men, the women, the children, the old, the young, the sick, the mild, the gentle, the civilized and the uncivilized, the civilized and the uncivilized, those born in Biafra and those born in the bite of Biafra. We shall all come together under one accord, under one union, under one government, and under one God, to scream for Hallelujah Day, the day that the God of Biafra has made. Fellow Biafrans, I want to say good morning, good afternoon to you today, depending from where your location is. At the beginning of this video, there was something you saw there. A cat being fed by a crocodile. From the cat's point of view, the cat will assume, oh, this crocodile loves me. We have a partnership. It goes to the sea, gets me fish, and gives me the fish. At the end, I will pat him at the back. And that way, we are living amicably. But unknown to the crocodile, or unknown to the cat, the crocodile is going to his own terrain to get fish. Perhaps the crocodile is tired of eating fish, and it take those fish to the cat for the cat to eat. And when this cat eats this fish, over time, the cat will grow bigger for the crocodile to come and feast on that cat. Fellow Biafrans, that analogy has to do with, it is similar to the story of Afonja and Alimi. And for the Yorubas, you have to be careful with this so-called partnership that you have with the Fulanis. The other time, the one they call FFK, Femi Fani Kayode, he was boasting on Twitter. He said they have a new partnership with the Fulani, with the North. The Southwest has a new partnership with the North. And no tribe can break that partnership. When he made those statements, I was just laughing. I said, wow, this guy who blows all the grammar, he doesn't even understand what happened to his ancestors. The one they call Afonja, Afonja, Afonshi, Afonja. Fellow Biafrans, so watch again the beginning of that video. Then I will come back to analyze what this man said. When we say the Fulani is a problem, when we Biafrans speak about it, they say no, blame Biafra, blame Simon Ekpa, blame Nnamdi Kanu. But today, you are hearing from a Fulani man, but in this case, he is a Christian convert. He is a Christian convert. Let's take it there. Take it back and listen. Watch this. That's the cat. Crocodile giving its fish. Partnership, yes. They have a partnership.
Fulani Oshun, Fulani Ekiti, Fulani Sokoto, Fulani Kasina, Fulani Kaduna, Fulani Plateau, Fulani Benue, Fulani Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria? You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man.
Listen.
I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren.
Listen.
And we just have to speak the truth.
Hold it there for me. First of all, for those in the media who are saying, oh, the Biafrans, they are profiling the Fulanis because they are scared to call a spade a spade. But when you look throughout that contraption called Nigeria, every state, every tribe, every region, those who are causing the problem are who? The Fulanis. If it comes to ranching, what they are looking for is Ruga, for them to come with authority through the backing of the government. To come with authority to say, we must create a Ruga, a transit for the cows to come around and abode in your community. A kind of business that is strange to the indigenes of that community. A strange kind of business in the 21st century, to be roaming around with cow, sleeping with your cow, showering with the urine of your cow, drinking the breast milk of your cow. When you are sick, you puncture the neck of the cow, suck some blood, and you say there are some, there are some things in there that kills the body. Fellow Biafrans, I want you all to know that we're on the right path. Today, I want the one they call Alexander Stubb, President Alexander Stubb, to listen to what a Fulani man is saying. This video must be sent to him, because sometimes when we speak, they say, no, it's the Biafrans, they are the aggressors. We are the problem in that zoo called Nigeria. So they say. Blame Simon Ekpa, he's a killer of his people. But today, this man is telling you, in every state, when you look deeper, the problem are the Fulanis. Even in Yoruba land, Oyo, Ibadan, the bomb blast in Kini, Ibadan. What happened there? Buhari gave a contract to some men from Mali to come and tilt the soil, to come and exploit gold and resources in Ibadan. At the end, with their carelessness, without following protocols, they put excess dynamite on the land and people's lives were lost. Fulani. Biafra land till we end. Biafra land till today, everywhere you go, headsmen, they are coming there, is the Fulani. Benue, Fulani. Plateau, Fulani. Kwara, Fulani. Ogun, Fulani. Fellow Biafrans, you see, when we say these things, I want you to know that do not blame yourself. Don't think we are being harsh. Someone like us, oh, these guys, they are a bit too harsh. The way they speak. The way we speak is the only way that the Nigerian Zoo government can listen. They are very stubborn. The Fulani cabal, they are extremely stubborn. They don't listen. The only time they listen to you is when you speak in a language that they understand. Matching them fire for fire. An eye for an eye. Tooth for tooth. Tat for tat. They shoot, we shoot. They buy, we buy. Blood in, blood out. That's the only language they understand. If not, if you are busy carrying flags saying, all we are saying, give us Biafra, why you are doing your protest in the public? They will send their Fulani military to come to your land and massacre you all. When they do it, the Zoo media will be bad to speak about what is happening in Biafra land. They are being bad by who? The Fulani cabal. Those who are the rulers of Nigeria. So please, at this point, do not feel bad when you go hardcore. Don't feel bad when you speak in a nasty way. Don't feel bad when you are aggressive in every word you use. Don't feel bad when you show no pity, no empathy. Don't feel bad when you wish the worst to happen to those who believe in Nigeria. Don't feel bad. Because that's the only language they understand. That's the only time they will comprehend. That will what will lead them to go all the way to Kenya to kidnap our leader Nnamdi Kanu. While they say, oh, 2,000 Boko Haram, they have repented. 1,500, they've repented. Oh, we have a partnership now, an agreement with terrorists. 120 are born again. Suddenly now, the Fulani cabal and the terrorists now, they are becoming born again. Now they believe in the scripture of being born again. God have mercy, Lord. Now they believe in being born again. Somebody repent. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. Let's continue. Listen to this man, a Fulani man who was a Muslim man who converted to Christianity. Don't get it twisted. He was a Fulani man, a Muslim man by birth who converted to Christianity. But at least he's speaking in a new language. He's out here speaking truth to power. So listen to this man. Let's continue. Listen.
Says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
Okay.
As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men. Until justice is done, there will never be a solution.
Hold it there for me. No, me talk more. No, me talk more. To the Zoo military, to the Islamic jihadist man they call Christopher Musa, a Fulani man with a Christian name. I will never call you that name. You are a Fulani man. Mr. Musa, you're not even a general. A jihadist sympathizer. A man who said the only way to make peace, oh my God, have mercy, is for all the so-called states in that so-called Nigeria to embrace Ruga. He's telling you here that unless you speak truth to power, there will be no solution. But no. You saw what they did in Oklahoma. They went to a community to do their hanky-panky, their back door in oil sales. And when their business went bad, they went back and they leveled the ground in Okwama. Not only that, your Nigerian media were barred again from accessing Okwama. The news you were getting from that land on ground was coming from your Nigerian military. Now you understand why this man is saying there will be no truth. There will be no solution to the problem in that zoo if they keep on hiding the truth. But unfortunately, those that run the media to the Yorubas, now, those that control the media to the Yorubas, now, from the beginning of the video, you saw the crocodile feeding that cat's fish. You all believe in politics. You assume you are in a collaboration, oh my God, with the cabal in politics. You believe, oh, we will not condemn a drug man, a Fulani sympathizer, a man convicted in America as a drug mule, a man whose money was seized in America. You say, no, he's our brother, Emi Lokon, Yoruba Lokon, at a time when you were seeking for your own freedom, at a time when you were screaming about Yoruba nation. Yoruba nation. You were screaming out. We believed you. We believed for the first time. You guys, you have woken up from the slumber. You are doing what is right now. Now you understand that the Igbos are not your problem. Because we are fighting diligently to leave that zoo called Nigeria. We ain't your problem. But somehow you allow the same politicians to deviate your mind. And now the news organization say, oh, the Igbo must go. Igbos must leave our Lagos. See how shallow you guys think. Igbos must leave your Lagos. As if we give a damn about Lagos. Most of us, we lived our life in Lagos, when Lagos was the so-called capital of that zoo called Nigeria. The same way Abuja now is the capital of that zoo called Nigeria. And you all know when a place is a capital, when a state or a city is a capital, things happen. All embassies, headquarters or head office will be where? In the capital. All the civil service, their head office will be where? In the capital. All businesses, banks, various sectors, they will move their head office to the capital. Major investments like your seaport becomes robust because it was in the capital. Lagos, the word Lagos, is not a Yoruba land name. To call a spade, Lagos, Lagos, was the Portuguese name. So to the Yorubas, so sometimes you guys must smell the coffee and understand that Lagos is the way it is right now because of all the investments over time. Way back from the Europeans, where they saw that island as the best place to anchor their boats, to settle in, a place where will now become, the main source to export the raw goods and services that they exploit from Niger area, Nigeria, the area of the Niger, Lagos. And over time, it became the capital of that zoo called Nigeria. When it became the capital, it means those who were working in different regions, they have to relocate to Lagos. Not be today now, way back since 1960. Some of us were not born then. So what happens if your parents were in the civil service, in the customs, navy, and the rest of them, and they had no other option than to relocate to the capital? Over time, they worked there for at least 35 years. After working, they had their children there. They grew up in the capital. So what do you expect of them? What do you expect their children to do? Lagos became a melting pot. Lagos became a melting pot. So, but for somehow, when you allow these strangers that came into Lagos in 1999 to run the affairs of Lagos, for the first time, those guys, they were shocked to see how the Igbos or the Yorubas, so they were working hand in hand. To see how the Igbos and Yorubas, you go to a canteen, what they call Iya Ijebu, Iya Oniraisi, and you are ordering the food every day, the amala, the oferiro shakiedo, Begriate wedu, you eat them. You know, ofeila bena obeila obefo, Orieja, that fish head. When they go out for that soup, that spicy soup, and they enjoy that fish head. Orieja. My parents would tell me, don't buy the fish head. I'll say, Daddy, no, I love the fish head. Orieja. Black amala, white amala. We'll eat all of them. There was no problem until 1999 when some strangers, some intruders, some interlopers came to Lagos. And one of them became the governor of Lagos. Till today, that person has still been your problems. They've still been because now they have gone to the so-called center in Abuja. And from Abuja, they are creating that tribalism. That thing that shocked them when they saw what was going on in 1999, the harmony of a people. They got angry. And when Igbo, don't trust them. The Igbo, okay, I'm a jogun you. We learnt your language, we ate your food. There was no discrimination. Even the months, the days of the year, we learnt it in Yoruba. Àìkú ajé ìṣẹ́gun ọjọ́rú ọjọ́bọ̀ ẹtì àbámẹ́ta. Àìkú ajé ìṣẹ́gun ọjọ́rú ọjọ́bọ̀ ẹtì àbámẹ́ta. We learnt all this thing. There was no tribalism back then. As a child, growing up in Lagos. But I saw from a viewpoint when my uncles on Fridays, they come back from their civil service. Because I love to go to my uncle's place and play with them. And when I saw my uncles, they were worried on a Friday evening when they used to wear their traditional attire. During those days, the Yorubas on Friday in the civil service, they wear their agbada, their buba. While the Biafrans or the Igbos back then, they wear their ishiago. They go to the work on that day and they do a jamboree. They are happy. You bring food for cooler. During those days, my mom will cook for my uncles because, they want to cook a very nice food. So on the Thursday, they will plead with my mom to make special food for them to take to the office. Now, competition now. So my mother will cook for them a very hot meal, piping hot meal. When they cook and finish for them, on that Friday, we will not put it in a cooler. I'll be the one to carry it to their house to give to them. Then they take it and go to their civil service. As they are doing their work, they are sharing the food. Likewise, the Yorubas there, the other people there, not just the Igbo and Yoruba, the other tribes there, they are there too, bringing their own, amala, akara, agidi, eko, moi moi. Who they yarn? There was harmony. The beauty, for the first time, I experienced it in Lagos, of different tribes being in harmony. The problem only started from, I would say, 1999, when a certain man, a strange looking fella, who was once a senator also in that zoo, came and became the governor of Lagos. And he wanted the whole wealth to himself. And this way he was able to succeed in doing it is to create that tribalism. Today, he has destroyed everything. Charlie Boy bus stop back in the days. Nobody could say, oh, Charlie Boy na Igbo man. No, back then, he was the hero. Somebody respected in Lagos for the great job he was doing all across. A philanthropist. Everywhere we knew his story, how he went to USA and he left law and went to music. He was the champion of Lagos. That they even named him after a bus known as Charlie Boy Bus Stop. During those days as a child, when my dad is driving through those areas, Bagada, you will now look and see his bike, the bike of Charlie Boy hanging outside. I said, Daddy, what's that? How come? How is that possible? Look at that beautiful bike up there. You will now ask me, do you know who owns it? I'll say, no, Daddy. You will say, Charlie Boy owns it. As a kid, I know the man called Charlie Boy as an icon. He sang a song way back. Them done did they wait for 1990. Da, da. They done did they wait for 1990. Yo. They don't sew their trousers with biggie pockets. Da, da. They don't sew their trousers with biggie pockets. Our money don't begin fly. Fly they go. Our money don't begin fly. Fly they go. Our money don't begin fly. Oh my God, I was a baby and I could, perhaps someone like that even made me to go into music to an extent. An icon, a man respected worldwide. But today, tribalism and politics has made the Yorubas to be doing what they are doing. Not all the Yorubas. I'll be careful with my words here. Those that believe in that stranger that messed things up since 1999. The Advent started from 1999. You see me, when I begin to analyze things, I go to wonder what's going on. Because someone like me, I am peculiar. I am peculiar. I don't make mistakes. Lagos was once the darling of Africa itself. But suddenly, that melting pot, a tribalized man, and a criminal, a drug man, oh my God, have mercy, came in and messed things up. And now my anger with the Yorubas is, you guys are not calling him out. You think it is politics. You think it's your brother. You know, Yoruba, Ronu. You assume he's your brother. A thief doing stealing, but you say, no, we won't call him out. He's one of us. Hence, I go back to the video again of the cats enjoying that fish from the crocodile. Because as they chop the fish, they grow bigger. They grow bigger. At the end, when the crocodile feels okay, I have destroyed the land of the fish. Perhaps it will not come for that cat. And that will be the end of it. So what this man is saying here, to go back to this man, it makes sense. He's speaking to those in the military because we know who they are. Musa, we know who he is. He's an empath. In fact, he is one of the, forerunners of the cabal to get the job done. He's on a mission to complete the task of Usman and Fodio. We know that. So let's continue. Listen.
If you get a Fulani man that is deal with him as and this will come to an end.
Well, and there, if you get a Fulani man as a criminal, deal with him as a criminal. But they try to hide that one. No, he's a terrorist. When you get those ones who are terrorists, you deal with them as terrorists. Don't call them bandits. Farmers and headers clash. Banditry. Farmers and headers clash. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know the Yoruba media will go with you. Now, in the media, in that zoo, what they say is farmers and herders clash. Breaking news in Kwara State. There was a farmer and herders clash in Benue. Oh my God, 200 dead. There was a farmers herders clash. Some farmers went to the farm and there was a clash. The farmers and herders clash. Everywhere you go, the same story. Farmers and herders clash. Here he's telling you. I know you guys are stubborn. People like this, when they speak, you won't even hear them because he's speaking in a language you don't understand. He's trying to plead with you guys. But we they come with the water, an eye for an eye. Devil decrease. Because the days of speaking this way, when the Fulani are terrorists, deal with them as terrorists. We don't pass that stage. We know the devil when we see one. Devil decrease. Devil a madman. As my friends in Warri used to say back in the days in the university. Devil the craze, devil a madman. We know the language that the cabal they understand. And that's what we are representing here. That's why we speak the way we speak. Because in Nigeria, when you try to be, sophisticated with your words, blowing grammar like this man, Ruben Abati and Rofayo Seni. You want to blow grammar, you are begging them, can't we get it right? I believe in this country, Nigeria. Can't we get it right? Go and vote. Go and get your PVC. Get your PVC and vote. Vote for the right person. Oh my God, you guys disgust me. You guys, you disgust me. You want to be intellectual with a zoo. Those coming from the Sahel to take over your land, to Islamize you. You want to be intellectual with them. You want to speak grammar with them. No. I want now water. For us now water. An eye for an eye. Tooth for a tooth. Tat for a tat. If they shoot, we shoot. If they buy, we buy oneself. You do me, I do you. God no go vex. That's the stage when we dey now. Because there's nothing else to discuss in that zoo. They know the truth. They know what's going on. But they have refused to act on it. The other day I took my time to read out the names of the terror, financiers. 6 of them were caught in the UAE. They are all in jail as we speak. 2 of them will spend life in jail, while the other 4, they will spend a minimum of 10 years in jail. But till this, they say, oh no, we don't have the names. We are searching for the terror financiers. 6 of them were caught in Dubai, trying to send $785,000 to Boko Haram in that zoo called Nigeria. Not only that, their foot soldiers, over 1,000 names, were given to that dead stinking idiot you call your president. And he kept those names. Till this day, those names were not released. Over 1,000 names. And you expect us to speak like gentlemen. No, because you and I know, if those names were Chichi, Amaka, Okafor, Okeke, Uchechi, Uchenna, Uchechukwu, Akachukwu, Udoka, Kachi, Emenike, Wike, those kind of names, you know, if they were in that 1,000 list of names, now in the midnight when they go their house safe, then go shoot everything on sight. The same way in Lagos, they fight some young boys and they call them the Igbo billionaire kidnappers, or what they call them, the billionaire kidnappers. They didn't even discuss that. They didn't even arrest them. They saw a group of young men in Lagos discussing, having a good time drinking, and the police went there. They opened shots. They killed. They buy everybody, and they tagged them the billionaire kidnappers. So what do you think would have happened if the names given to that zoo called Nigeria, the Buhari government, If those names were filled with Biafran names, what do you think the Buhari government would have done? They will now prove to the whole world that they are advocates to curb terrorism. They will do like a movie with their cameras, house to house, putting bullets in the head of the man, the victims, the children, the wives. They buy everybody in that house, tag them as terrorists. You guys know these things, but you pretend not to know it. Over 1,000 names. Till this day, they've sealed it up. They've put a seal on those names. And you ask yourself, why? Why would they do that? Because they have an agenda. Today, I want the Finnish president, Alexander Stubb, to take notes. Take a paper and pen and write these things down. Because in the next few days, our leader, His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa, will be in court for the judgment of his case. And I hope that Finland will not pretend as if they are naive to the truth. Let's continue. Listen.
I respect the people that have hosted me, even though I am an indigene of Plateau State, because I was born here. My children are grown up. I have 8 grandchildren. But yet we respect the people we met on ground.
Okay.
In Maiduguri, my hometown, the people that come to meet us respect us. When the Boko Haram thing started in Maiduguri, it was us, the indigenes, the people, the Kanuris, who came together and said, this thing is among us.
Hold it there. This thing is amongst us. Thank God in this man's case, he was a convert, or a Christian convert, as they say in the Bible back then. He was a Christian convert. And when they saw the blueprint of the Fulani cabal, of what they want to do, bringing in Boko Haram, the Christian convert shouted, this thing is amongst us. This thing is amongst us. It means, say, this is an in-house thing now. Not them. When I said in my last video, not them. You guys will not understand. But I'm glad this man came out and said, they discussed and say, this thing is amongst us. The so-called Boko Haram, now the Fulani them be now. What is their plan? To take over Nigeria. And do what? To Islamize Nigeria. But on the contrary, this man is a Christian convert. That's why he's speaking out. You see, that is why he is speaking out. Because he's already a Christian convert. And you know what they would do to a Christian convert when they're on a mission to Islamize Nigeria. Today in southern Kaduna, you see how the Christians in the north are being treated. So that this man is speaking this way, don't assume, because he knows what is to come after Nigeria is Islamized. He knows what is to come, the aftermath. He knows what is to come. And from the way he's speaking, it seems like he is tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired of going back, changing his religion over and over again. Perhaps he does not want to go back to Islam. So he's out here speaking. But I know some of your pastors, some of your Yoruba pastors who are just fronting to be pastors. Deep inside, they believe in the tenets of Islam. And they are students sent to become pastors in order to curb Catholicism and the rest of them, and the Anglican Church taking place in Nigeria. Catholicism, Catholic Church, owned by Rome, and the Anglican Church, owned by England. You see, Britain is so smart, they call it Anglican Church to confuse you, because they know that word is a big word. You might not understand the meaning of Anglican. Anglo-Saxon, you will know that, okay, that has to do with English. Francophone, it has to do with the French. Anglican. When you come to Western world, what year was that? I went to the UK and I was in London because a friend of mine was doing their wedding there. And it took place when they were in that zoo, they are saying, oh, the wedding will be done in the UK in an Anglican church. But when we now came to England, in London for the program, the advert, or what they call it, the ID, the wedding invitation said Church of England. So me and my cousin that went there, we were looking for what? Anglican church, because on the wedding invitation it says Anglican church. When we got to the UK in London there, we went there and we were looking for an Anglican church. We couldn't find it. What we saw was Church of England. So I said, no, with all due respect, this is not the church. The one we are going for is an Anglican church in this street. They told me there is no Anglican church in this street. What we have is the Church of England, and Anglican is same as England. So the game to bamboozle you all was Britain came with their own religion, known as the Anglican Church, to compete with Rome that came with Catholicism, Catholic Church. Do you not get it? Because now Britain, when, colonized Nigeria now. So when Catholicism was coming from Rome, Roman Catholic, that's the full name. But now you say, oh, I'm a Catholic. No, the full name is Roman Catholic. Roman Catholic. And it was the Romans that killed Jesus. But today now you are attending Catholic Church, known as Roman Catholic Church. The logo is there, the brand is there, the signature is there. Roman Catholic Church. So Britain now saw how they were doing well in that so-called Nigeria and all over Africa. So to compete with them, Britain now brought their own Church of England, but they were smart now. They had to now flip it around. They now called it Anglican Church. Anglican Church, to confuse the deaf, dumb, and blind, the naive. Those who are naive, they say, oh, I'm going to Anglican Church. Biafrans living in the local, ask anybody going to Anglican Church, say, what is the real name of the Anglican Church? Or what is your church called in the UK? They won't know. Yeah, my church name na Anglican Church now. Anglican, I am an Anglican. They don't know that in the Western world, in London there, I saw it. It was called the Church of England. So they are in that zoo called Nigeria to compete. And when the cabal saw it, they say, oh, no. When the Fulani cabal saw that Roman Catholic is in Nigeria, Anglican Church, which is Church of England, is in Nigeria, the Fulani cabal did something. They had a class of Islamic young scholars that suddenly became born again. Oh God. The same way they are Boko Haram, they are repenting now. In the late 80s, no, in the early 80s or late 70s, according to my uncle that told me the story, lots of young Islamic scholars suddenly became born again. They repented, according to them. And what did they do? They became Christians and they started opening what? Pentecostal churches. The rise of the Pentecostal churches. The Church of Pentecost, Oyibo. Protestant churches. To protest, you become a Protestant churches. That was a way to curb the rise of Roman Catholicism and Anglican Church, Church of England in that zoo, because they had an agenda to Islamize Nigeria. But the same way Britain slowed them down when Usman and Fodio was coming to colonize the whole country, to dip the Quran in the Red Sea. But the first step is to dip it in the River Niger. That was the first stage. But Britain, during the colonization, said, stop here, please. Stop there. We'll have some partnership. We're going to have some discussions. We're going to have some mutual understanding. But please stop around the Middle Belt area. That was where they stopped them. Britain did that. Yes, a scholar told me, or a student told me the story about Nnamdi Kanu. I heard the story of Nnamdi Kanu where he spoke about some tribes that fought, the Islamists during those days. Yes, I know about that one. But that didn't stop them. It was the might of Britain that stopped the caliphate. And when they did that, they came with a partnership, an agreement. So, okay, this is what we're going to do. But for now, okay, yes, you guys are born to rule since, yes, you, in fact, the country belongs to you guys, but please stop there. This is our own side. We need to run things our own way. That's why from the Middle Belt down to Biafra land, we are lucky. You know, what was Christianity came from Britain. They brought all those things to us. But for the Yoruba side, Islam still crippled it because there was an external factor that happened in the Yoruba land. You all know the story now. Afonja. The story of Alimi and Afonja. You know the story. So through that wave, the Yorubas can't get Islam. It came in from there. And it's so, pronounced now in Yoruba land. To an extent where it's now 60-40. 60% of the Yorubas, they are Yorubas. They are Muslims, and 40% they are Christians and traditional worshippers. But I digress. Let me get back to what I was saying. When those Islamic young scholars converted to Christianity, they were given the funding. And now those so-called mega churches you are seeing, they own it. Most of them were the Yoruba pastors. They own it. They own it. One name I keep on mentioning, Pastor Tunde Bakare. Go and do a research of that man. Pastor Tunde Bakare. Go and do a research of who that man is. Because the way I found out about him and the other ones, is it Redeem or what's the other ones, all those churches. Go and do your research. Go and do your research. I told you how I found out now. My friend then in Lagos, we used to play ball every day now. So, and he's the owner of the ball. I went to his house. So yeah, now bring ball, come now. And that Friday they were supposed to go, Fridays they go to mosque. So I have to go quickly to get the ball. But when I got there, I saw the father was studying the Bible heavily, hardcore. What's going on here? The father is a Muslim man, or all the children, they do their Juma every Friday. They go to mosque every day. So when I saw the father was, the way he was studying the Bible is like somebody that is trying to cram something. He had about 2-3 different Bibles open. And he was cramming it, writing things down. So when I took the ball, I now asked him, what's your dad doing with those Bible? He said, they want to make him pastor. They want to make him pastor. A hardcore Muslim man. And when they made him pastor of a church, we in the neighborhood, we went there for his first, preaching and all those things. That was where I saw what was happening. I now got the memo. Because there's some few things that boy I played football with told me. All the so-called young pastors there were Islamic converts. And now they were now going out to recruit more pastors who were also Muslims, so-called converts. So when I mention the name Pastor Tunde Bakare, I will not speak more than that because I don't want to commit slander or libel. So I will say allegedly. I'll be careful. But I'm giving you guys the assignment to go back and do your research. Study, read, study. Who is this man? What was he before? In the 70s, in the 80s, in the 60s. What was his own religion? Some of these men you call your GO. Because today now that they've cabal, they're coming to Islamize you guys, nobody's speaking about it. Your pastors don't speak about it. Now you understand why. But let's continue. You guys don't know what's going on. You guys don't know what's going on. Let's continue.
And then we started getting on, and then we raised the civilian JTF. That was how Boko Haram was dealt with. Kanuri man will bring his own children and said, Gashina ina chikin Boko Haram. And that was how we dealt with it. Mayati Allah Association, 80% of the responsibility of the genocide is on you.
Hold it down. No me tokamo. Mayati Allah Association. 80% of the genocide is on you. Last time I checked, the same Mieti Allah had a partnership with the Yorubas in Oyo for the cows of the cabal to come down to Yoruba land to chop the grass of Yoruba land. And they signed a partnership. God have mercy. Hey, Chicago, have mercy. A Fulani man just told you, say, Mieti Allah Association, 80% of all the atrocities happening in that zoo called Nigeria is on you. This man knows what's happening. Like I said, he's a Christian convert. 80%. 80%. But instead, they want to blame the Biafrans. They want to blame IPOB. They want to blame Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. The Igbos are the problem. Igbos must go. Igbo, leave our Lagos. Igbo must go. Sometimes I just feel like laughing. I just wonder, where is the brain of these people? Them get brain at all? Where is the brain? High sense and foresight, they don't have it. Those trying to expose what's happening, those trying to tell you what is going on, the one that said they are coming, they are coming, they are coming, the Fulani Kamal, the headsmen, they are coming, Boko Haram, they are coming, ISIS, they are coming with their cows and AK-47. They will come to your land as if they are coming to eat the crops of your land, the grass of your land. But what they want is a ruga, a form of, coming and having a fort, an enclave within your community, and they will strike from that communities. They are coming, they will rape your mothers in the farm. They are coming, they are coming, they are coming. They are coming, he said. And they came. They came. Before your eyes, they came. But till this day, you now hate the Igbos more. You hate the Biafrans more because our prophets saw tomorrow. And Nnamdi Kanu saw tomorrow. So till this day, all the terrorists, they are born again, release them. As a partnership now, release them. We release 100,000. We release 2,000. We release 500. We release 200. They've repented. Those that took lives of people. But a man who spoke with the microphone, a man who spoke with a computer, a mic, on a radio, is being held incommunicado. 5 years and counting. Nnamdi Kanu, they went all the way to Kenya to kidnap him, brought him back to Nigeria through an extraordinary rendition. Until this day, they have no case against this man. They are finding a way. Even the witness came with mask on, balaclava. They wore mask. a witness, an eyewitness, but we couldn't see your face or your eyes when you were giving your own testimony. In Nigeria, elephants can fly. Fellow Biafrans, I'll leave it here. But I'm glad this man has spoken. And with the analogy I gave of the crocodile feeding that catfish, you all know what will happen at the end to that cat. To the Yorubas, every time you keep on you claim you are the most educated in Nigeria. You said, you guys, your tribe, you are the most learned. You have to prove it. You have to prove it. Prove it for yourselves or to yourselves. For us, we've seen the handwriting on the wall. We know what we want, and we are doing what we have to do to get it. But very soon, when we are gone, that partnership you have with those coming, that thing, I pray you guys will wake up before that thing will happen. I pray you guys will wake up before that thing that is coming will happen to you guys. Today in Kwara State, we see what's going on. People are running from their communities. Ghost towns in Kwara State. The Yorubas, they are running away in Kwara. The Igbo wants to steal your Lagos. The Igbo wants, but your Kwara State that is being stolen as we speak. No, it's okay now. Now, Fulani, now it's okay. You are scared to call them out. But the Igbos coming to do trade. You know we are in Lagos because of the seaport there. Give us seaport in Biafra land and you won't see us in your Lagos again. Since you claim you are the owner of the Lagos, take it. But in exchange of a seaport. And I bet you the whole of Africa, the whole of the world will be coming to do trade in Biafra land. That's the game. That's the game. You all know these things, but you pretend not to know what's going on. You know the enemy. You know those this man just mentioned. Every state, the problem, the aggressors are the cabals, the Fulani cabals, and the rest of them. But somehow you guys want to blame the Igbo. That's the move of a coward. I'm sorry. A coward will die 1,000 times before the real death will even show up. God have mercy. I rest my case. For those that have ears, let them hear. For those that have ears, let them hear.
For the month of November, woto to the enemies of Biafra. Woto to the enemies of Biafra. When we land on you, we will destroy everything you have except you are genuinely fighting for Biafra. Woto to the enemies of Biafra. Woto to those who sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu either directly or indirectly. Woto to those who have joined their hand afterthought to betray Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra. Woto to those who have soiled their hands in the blood of innocent Biafrans and innocent ESN commanders. You will never know peace. Woto to you who say Biafra will not come. Woto to those who say if Biafra, instead of Biafra to come, they will rather die. Woto to all of you. The gods of our land have destroyed you. You will never rise again. You will never, ever rise again. You will never rise again. Any native doctor that tries to make you rise, his power and everything he have in this life will be destroyed, completely destroyed.